AskReddit. What do you like about your life? The woman I bought my house from was an amazing gardener and created this lovely cottage garden full of window pathways and benches and flowers. She's so ace. She still always responds when I WhatsApp her to check what something is or ask advice even though I've lived here for years. It's a nice little side pocket of my life that's remained pleasant. I hope whoever gets my house appreciates the garden. A house across the street used to have a really nice garden, which the next owner ripped out and replaced with lawn, which the next one ripped out to replace with a sad garden, which the latest ripped out and replaced with grass again. Wish I had taken pictures. I'm still able-bodied. I think about this a lot and try to appreciate it. I grew up unathletic and chubby. In the past couple of years, I've taken better care of my body, and the difference is wild. If I want to do something like climb a tree or run or learn a dance, I can. Just do it. I'm realizing that my happiest self is just a primate. Somebody who sleeps enough, eats good food, and has reason to move their body that aren't just, I must work out so I can lose weight, actually being able to enjoy everything my body can do. Sometimes I think about how tenuous it can be. Injury, illness, old age. Any of those can take a lot of this away from me. By the way you phrased your answer, it sounds like you've got that perspective too. So I'm grateful for my able body. Thank you for reminding me to be. With all that sheltering at home, I'm really glad I have a backyard I can hang out in to help with my cabin fever. I envy you for having a backyard. I wish you a good time there. You deserve it. Do you do any gardening? I know I would if I had a yard. Not a lot of time to do gardening, but I have a tiny pear tree that I have been watering for a year or so. At this rate, it'll bear fruit when the sun explodes. This might be a bit more esoteric and trivial than other responses, but I went out walking in my neighborhood this afternoon wearing a brown and white hoodie. This 8 to 10-year-old kid, I suck at guessing ages, came skateboarding by and yelled out, "You look like a porg!" So I just did the porg screeching thing from The Last Jedi, and the kid started laughing so hard that he fell off his skateboard and landed straight on his ass. That was pretty cool. Highlight of my life this week. Top-notch response there. Pizza rolls. Had those last night. Sounds like you had a good night. Having a bed, food, and the most loving family. Tell me more of this loving family. I've only heard of them in books as a child. We have a virus that makes us stay at home, but we have the internet, so we don't feel alone. Yes, Friday night we had a group video chat, and it was so much fun. We realized how lucky we are this is happening today, and not even 10 years ago. I've never been happier to work for the government than I am right now. My job is in no immediate danger. This is honestly the first time my in-laws have stopped complaining about my husband's job. Previously complaints. It doesn't pay enough. He's not using his degree to its potential. He should move back to his hometown. But now, he's an essential worker. TLDR, my current melancholy. See, my son just turned 18 in the middle of this quarantine. He graduates high school next month. There will probably be no graduation, no prom, no parties with friends. He is expecting to go to college a couple thousand miles away in the fall, if college still happens in the fall. All with coronavirus hanging over everything. It is profoundly all a great deal of sadness. But I am still so excited for him. He has grown up to be such an amazing, interesting person. He has a deep empathy for others, a strong will, a great sense of humor, and a hard-working attitude. He is really poised to be the type of young man that I would be proud to know, even if he wasn't my son. So I am melancholy, but it really is okay. It's life. It's nice to have such feelings. It means there is something that has meaning in my life. That's all we can really hope for, isn't it? Quit smoking 6 months ago and haven't drank in 20 days. Realizing both do absolutely nothing for you. Also having a stable job and paid off house. My wife is okay too. You're doing it, friend. You're putting in the work, putting in the time. Good job. I'm not rich, but I am wealthy enough to not really care about much. I have everything I need and I don't have any wants at this time. So I live what many would consider to be carefree. I don't have to stress over anything, which is nice. Exactly how I explain to people what I want. I don't need to have billions, just enough so that I can own a house and not worry about financial pressures. Being able to go out and eat without having to think about it and set a budget. Being able to go around the world with my wife-to-be. Being able to afford a wedding. I'm happy for you. My older brother, who is honestly probably my best friend. He stood up for me through the years, helped me get back on my feet even when I don't always do my best. And whenever I get into a new hobby or interest, he's the type of person that will sit and listen for hours. He'll even participate in crazy experiments with me. Like one month, we drove to different stores to buy any off-brand pencils we could find. We'd then come home and try the pencils out for a few days to figure out which brand was the best writing pencil. Another time, we spent a month eating different types of apples and compared the tastes. I get into a lot of odd, bizarre projects. Right now, I'm into watercolor painting, which is pretty awesome, and he's still happy to hear me talk about painting techniques. We've even talked about trying to make our own paper and the whole process that goes into doing so. He's seriously the best. The peace amidst the chaos. I live alone. There are no annoying children in my fourplex. The neighbors are not overly loud or rude at all. In fact, they're very nice. Preach. What a great time to not have children. I love kids, but my boss has a toddler, and from our video chats and attempt at video training, I am so glad that I currently do not. I'm a young divorced mother of two who still went to college and is pursuing the career I've wanted since the 8th grade. I like that I didn't just give up and let myself become a statistic. I also really like my best friend and my boyfriend. I have a fantastic support system in these people. Wish you the best. I have been putting my college on hold due to some external factors, but I am also determined on going back to, as well as no matter how long it takes. You are never too late for education. A lot, but most specifically my mom is the best. She has given up a lot of herself and denied herself from having many things for the sake of my sister and myself, and often just so that little baby me could have what I wanted. Not only what I needed, but a lot of what I wanted. Not only did she, and still does, often sacrifice being able to get things for herself that she would like to have so she could instead give something to me or my sister, but has never failed to be there for us however she's needed, regardless of what she is going through. She has always made us feel loved. Although she will never believe me no matter how many times I tell her, she is the best. What I like about my life is that my mom is my mom. In fact, I love this about my life. Despite feeling lonely, I like that I have my own home to live in every day. I'm just glad I bought last year instead of a month ago, because my savings were pretty sparse back then, and this whole pandemic is making it feel like I might lose my job. We bought a house at the end of last year when, in our planning stages, we weren't planning on buying a house until around May or June. I am so happy I am spending this time in a house of my own instead of either of the places we were renting from. We also kind of stretched our budget because the house we bought was one we fell in love with because of the backyard. We've got a small forest area with a bonfire. Things are stressful right now, but I'm there with you. We accidentally had great timing in buying a house. I'm 6 weeks sober as of today after 18 years of alcohol abuse. Everything in life has gotten better. Work, wife, hobbies, depression. It's a joy just to be alive. Even this quarantine hasn't gotten me down. That's amazing. Congratulations. Thank you. It's been tough, but feeling amazing. Reddit/stop drinking really helped me out. I have my dog, a roof over my head, and enough food. Dogs are essential workers. They just work from home. I agree 100%. I like this community very much. Reading the comments are so very wholesome. Right now it's raining in California. We don't get much rain, so this is such a good feeling. The town is being cleaned, plants and trees getting water, me drying off my 2 dogs after they play in the rain. All is good despite the virus and frustrations. I have a 15-month-old son who I put to sleep every night. I sit with him in his room right before I put him in his crib. I make up songs and sing to him as he lays on my chest. He looks at me and smiles ear to ear. Now he's starting to mimic some sounds and notes that I sing. It is the purest form of happiness I've ever experienced. And it's available every single night. I have an 18-month-old. He sleeps through the night and settles himself. Sometimes he cries out, I go in and pick him up. His head goes right down onto my shoulder and I rock him gently. After a few minutes, he turns and reaches out for his crib and goes back down to sleep for the night. Knowing he just wanted to be held by me for a quiet moment and being there for that brings a euphoric calm I've never felt anywhere else. I've actually got a girlfriend now. I'm still not quite sure how, but I'm very excited. I wish I had a boyfriend. Normally this would be the point where I offer myself, but I'm currently taken. I'm sure you will be too in time. I teach high school and my students love me almost as much as I love them. 14 years into my career, I'm now at a point where my earliest students are just hitting their strides as adults, and I get to watch them prosper and know that I played a small, sometimes not too small, role in their success, because many specifically told me, there's a lot of nonsense that comes with the profession, but there's also a lot of nonsense teachers out there who may know their subject well, but don't know things about connecting with the students in their charge. I wish more teachers understood that. I am taking a regular English class as someone who is usually in honors classes, and the teacher for it is my favorite ever. He cares so much about the students and connects on a professional and emotional level with his students. Mr. Lovegren, if you are reading this, you are awesome. Not gonna lie, my life is turning out pretty great. Got a job I love, moved into a new apartment with my girlfriend. I'm paying for her studies. I'm also planning on popping the question soon. Wish me luck. Let's go. Good luck with it, stranger.